Hi, hello, welcome to PUC Coaching Center Vijayapur. Today we shall discuss concern to the Mathematics 2 PUC II Mathematics. In that mainly we shall consider concern to the chapter 3. Okay, let us go ahead. Chapter 3, that is Matrices. Chapter 3 Matrices, it is title of the chapter, it is the Matrices. Concern to the hour allotted for this, that is of 8 hours allotted for this chapter. Marks allotted for this chapter, they are 9 marks. Okay, how they are going to distribute those 9 marks? So let us see that in part A 1 mark 1 question, 1 mark 1 question. Next part C 3 marks 1 question. Next part D 5 marks 1 question again. So usually those questions, they are going to appear as question numbers. So they are going to appear as a third question in your main examination. So usually question number 3, that is for the 1 mark. Next 27th for the 3 marks and 40th for the 5 marks. Okay, this is all about concern to the chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೆಟ್ರೈಸಿಸ್, ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು 8 ಅವರ್ಸ್ದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 9 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಅಲೌಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮೆಟ್ರೈಸಿಸ್ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ, ಸೊ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಕನ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಸೊ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಯೂಶಲಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 27th ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 40th ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. Okay, this is the highlight of the concern to the third chapter. Let us go ahead concern to the introduction part of this chapter. Introduction. So in this introduction, what you are going to study? Mainly you are going to study what is the definition or else meaning of this matrix. So before proceeding in detail, let us see here we have taken a heading as matrices. Am I right? Okay. Here we written that is as a matrix. What is the small difference that exists between that matrix and matrices? Matrix ಅನ್ನೋದು singular. This matrix means singular. ಒಂದೇ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ matrix ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. 2 3 4 plural if that is there, then we have to call that as a matrices. Okay, so what is the meaning of that matrix? Let us see here. Before proceeding the definition, let us see here one just example I would like to give you, and later I will come back to the definition. So usually that matrix we are going to denote by the capital letter such as A, B, C and so on. So let us consider here an example, that is matrix A. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನಂಬರ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಸೇ ಹಿಯರ್ 3 2 4 5. Okay, so this is the matrix example for the matrix. So here whatever we written that 3 2 4 5, these are called as elements of the matrix. Usually these elements, they are either real numbers or else real functions. So whatever we arranged in horizontal way, that we are going to call as a row, and vertical arrangement we are going to call as a column. So ಇದು matrix ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು horizontal rows ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. So let us see here, one horizontal row, next a second horizontal row. So that we are going to write here 2 rows. Then by, we are going to call this as a by or else cross. Okay, 2 by. Next how many columns? Vertical arrangement ಗೆ columns ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So let us see here, vertical arrangement 1, next 2. So 2 columns. So then its order is of 2 by 2. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಏನು ರೀಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿವಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ rectangular or else square arrangement of the what real numbers, or else sometimes functions also we can use. Let us see one more example so that you are going to get it clearly. So another example I taken here as a B example. So suppose if we consider the real function like sin theta, next cos theta, another one is cos theta, next sin theta. Okay, in how many rows these are arranged? Again in two rows, first row, second row. So 2 by how many columns? Again 2 columns, 2 by 2. If you would like to see one more example and thereafter we shall come back to the definition, let us see one more here. So see, I am going to consider, always we are going to use capital letters for naming the what a matrix. Okay, let us see here. See example I am going to consider 1 2 3. Just I am going to take this one. So how many rows? Only one row. See here, only one row, that is one row, that I am going to write it here 1 by, so how many columns? 1 2 3, 3 columns. So order of this it is of 1 by 3. Let us come to the definition. So what we observed here, we observed that that is real numbers or else real functions we written within the bracket. So see here, this is the bracket. Within the bracket we mentioned the real numbers or else real functions. So let us have that either it is of rectangular arrangement or square arrangement, whatever it may be. So let us have that a rectangular just arrangement ಅಂತನೂ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ rectangular square arrangement ಅಂತನೂ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. a rectangular arrangement of what? So they are the real numbers or else real functions. Arrangement of real numbers within the bracket I am going to write here, that is or else real functions may also be. Okay, real numbers or else real functions, where we written, so we written within the bracket. Okay, mention that, that is the most important, within brackets is called, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸಿಂಗುಲರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರೈಸಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿರಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. Okay, this is the simple definition. So you can take that as a just arrangement of the real numbers or functions within the bracket also. Okay, either in this way you can write or else in general also you can mention. So this is the concern to the meaning of matrix or else definition of a matrix. So let us see this some examples for that, as we mentioned at the beginning. So see here, so that is the first example, A, that is equals to, matrix A is equals to 3 2, next 4 5. How many rows? 1, next 2, that is 2 rows by or else cross symbol, next 1 2 vertical arrangement, so 2 columns. That's why order of this is 2 by 2. Another example if you'd like to see, that is second example here, sin theta cos theta, next cos theta sin theta again. So one row, next second row 2 by, next how many columns? 1 column, second column 2 by 2. So third example you can see here, that is C, the 1 2 3. So just in one row it is arranged. Later we shall discuss the different types of matrices. Okay, in that we are going to call this one as a square matrix. Why it is called as a square matrix, we shall see that. So this one we are going to call as a row matrix. Why it is, how it is, so that we shall discuss in a subsequent classes also. Okay, ಇದರದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ. So let us see the next point, as we mentioned here, capital letters for the naming of each matrix. Okay, so we are going to use always capital letters such as what? A, B, C, D and so on for the naming of each matrix. Okay, so let us see the next point. Matrices ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ that is what plural, matrix ಅಂದ್ರೆ singular. Matrices are denoted how I told, so that by the always what capital letters, by capital letters, that is A, B, C, D and so on. Okay, next very important thing is that representation of a matrix in general. How we are going to represent any of the matrix in general, that is the most important aspect in this chapter. If you well aware about this representation, then almost nothing is there in this chapter. Okay, let us observe that very important aspect. In general matrix can be represented as follows. How that we are going to represent, let us see that one. So as I stated, always what we are going to use, capital letters for the naming of any of the matrix. Okay, let us consider here one simple as a matrix. Okay, that A matrix I considered. Anyway, as we discussed at the beginning, we are going to write all the real numbers or real functions within the bracket, and whatever we are going to mention here, those we are going to call as elements of that matrix. If you consider here A as a matrix, then its element we are going to write as small letters. Elements small letters le ಬರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದರ ಹೆಸರಿತ್ತಂದರೆ capital letters. Elements we are going to write by the small letters. Okay, so where it is located, it is located in a first row and in a first column. First row ದಾಗ first column ದಾಗ ಐತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಏನಂತ ಬರೀರಿ, A11, you mention it as A11. Then you are shifting in the same row but on the second column. So how you are going to write, that is a A12. First row, next column, first row and then next you have to write as a column, that is A12. Similarly, how you are going to write here, that is A13, that is there in a first row itself but in a third column, and so on. It will be continued in the same way. Okay, ಸೊ ಇದೇ ಥರನೇ ಅದು ಮುಂದುವರೆದಿರ್ತದೆ ಕಡೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಶಾಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ರೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ 3 columns and so on it has indicated. So then what we are going to call for this, that we are going to call as a what it is, first row, that we are going to mention as a first row. Similarly, ಇಲ್ಲಿದಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ you are going to shift it down to the second row, that is A21. So as I told that beginning, so that you have to specify the first what it is, row, then column, that is there in a second row but in a first column. So that is element lying in a second row, first column. Similarly here A22, that element lying in a second row, second column. So how it will be here, that it will be 2, 3 and so on. Okay, what you are going to specify for this, that is what a second row it is. Idanenu second row, idu first row, idu second row. And similarly, if you come down here, next you are going to shift it to the third row, first column. Next here, that third row, second column. Here third row, third column and so on. This it will be what it is, third row it is. Okay, illen mention ಮಾಡಿದೆವು row, we mentioned here rows, first row, second row, next third row. Similarly, it is continued. So this continued down also. Similarly this one, and so on. So here what we are going to specify for this, we are going to call this one as a what it is, first idakenade column, first column, that is the first column. Similarly here second column, this is the second column, this one is the third column, this one is the third column, this is the third column. Okay, so we don't know exactly how many rows will be and how many columns. That's why in general what we are going to consider, that is m number of rows. ಎಷ್ಟು ರೋಸ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, m ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. m number of rows by, that is cross. Okay, here next how many that columns, so n number of columns. So if you like to mention, you specify this one as a what it is, that is a columns, number of columns. Then what I told for this one, that is a rows, number of rows, number of rows. Then what about this one, we are going to call this complete as, that is the order of a matrix, that is the order of a matrix. Okay, specify below here where m is equals to, what that m is equals to, number of rows, number of rows, ಎಷ್ಟು rows ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು. So what is that n is, number of columns, number of columns. I hope everybody understood concern to the this concern to the rows arrangements as well as column arrangements. Then elements, how we are going to denote that lying in a first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column, and so on. Okay, so this is generally we are going to call as a what it is, order of a matrix. That is what m by n. M is the number of rows. In general, m we are going to take for the number of rows, next n for the number of columns. Okay, m by n, that is going to give out as a what, order of a matrix, order of a matrix. Okay, let us glance about that further, particularly considering the order of a matrix. Let us see the next one. Okay, previously as we mentioned that whatever the m that is there as a number of rows, n that is a number of columns. So then one more we can consider, as we discussed, these they are going to call as a what, elements of a matrix. So let us consider those here. Whatever the a11, a12, a13 and so on we taken, those we are going to call as a what, that are the elements, are the elements of which matrix. If that is the matrix A, then we are going to consider as a a11, a12, a13. If it is if suppose if it is a B, b11, b12, b13 we are going to take. Okay, so these are the elements of which matrix, elements of a matrix A it is. Okay, elements of a matrix A. A ಇದ್ರೆ a11, a12, a13 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ಆನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಬಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ b1. ಅದನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದೇನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಮಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್, ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ how we are going to write in a compressed form. So let us see here, compact form we are going to write, that is in general in this way. So what is that here we mentioned, ij we mentioned. What that aij indicates, that is the element lying in a ith row and jth column, okay, of that matrix A. ಇದು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, that we called as order of a matrix, that we considered as a order of a matrix. Okay, that is the order of a matrix. So let us see here concerned to the that aij, small aij is an element where it is lying, is an element lying, is an element lying in the ith row, lying in the ith row, and one more, first ಇದ್ದು ರೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಕಾಲಮ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ jth ಕಾಲಮ್, jth ಕಾಲಮ್. So we are going to write that also be as here. Let us see. We can also call it as, how we are going to mention, I comma j. Okay, ಈ ಥರನೂ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, I comma jth element of which matrix? Of course, element of a matrix A. A ಇದ್ರೆ ಎದು, ಬಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೆದೀವಲ್ಲ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ m by n product. For example I am going to mention here one, see here, that is 2 3 4 5. Okay, 2 3 4 5. What is the order of this? That is 2 by 2. What this signifies, what it indicates, product of this, what it is? So 2 into 2, 4. What this indicates? How many elements they are present in that. Okay, number of elements present in that matrix. So 4, let us see here, 2 is one element, 3 is another element, next 4 is one more element, 5 is so next element. So totally how many are there? 1 2 3 4 elements. So that product of m into n, that is mn, whatever it is going to come product, that it will be the what number of elements present in that matrix. Okay, so let us have that point also be very important for the point of CET. Let us have that the number of elements in m by n matrix, in a m by n matrix, in a m by n matrix, in m by n matrix will be equal to what it is, mn then product ಬರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರನೇ ತೋರಿಸಿದನಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ 3 by 3, then 9 elements, 3 into 3 9 elements. ಸೊ ಲೇಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಸಸ್ ಹೇಳೋ ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ದಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪ್ರಿವಿಯಸ್ನೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆವು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರಿವಿಯಸ್ ಏನು ರೀಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವಲ್ಲ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್, ಸೊ ವಿ ಶಾಲ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ so concerned to the order of a matrix. Okay, let us see here, as previously discussed that order of a matrix, just you can glance once more. So put the heading as order of a matrix. ಇದು ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ನ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇವೊಂದು ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಎಟ್ ದಿ ಎಂಡ್ they are not able to answer the order of any one matrix. Okay, let us see here. Whatever the matrix you can consider, if there will be the m number of rows in any matrix, next n number of columns, if there are the m rows and what n columns in a matrix. M rows, what next n columns, then order of that matrix is what m by n. ಅದನ್ನು ಓದೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಓದಬೇಕು, m by n. Okay, you don't read it as a m cross n usually, so we are going to read, so that is m by n matrix, m by n matrix. Okay, don't read it as a m cross, so m cross n, you have to read it as a m by n. So see that any of the matrix having m rows and then n columns, then its order of that matrix, that is m by n. As previously we considered that representation, so let us glance it at the past. So general ಆಗಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರಿತೀವಿ, a11 next a12 next a13, a ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ a, b ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ b ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬರಿತಿದ್ವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ a21 a22 a23 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ a31 a32 a33 and so on. Okay, close on this side also bracket, and it will be continued in this way. Okay, on this side also, that row wise they are going to continue. So as we discussed it previously also, so let us see that once again. So what it is, first row, this is considered as a first row, this we are going to consider as a second row, this we are going to consider as a what, third row. ಇದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೋ, ಇದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ರೋ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ರೋಸ್ ಆದಂಗೆ ಅದು, ಸೊ 3 ರೋ, ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅದ. ಓಕೆ, ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ 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 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಮ್ ರೋಸ್. ಸೊ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ 3ನೇ ಇದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ 3 ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 3 rows, then we are going to mention here as a 3. In here we have taken as a and so on. That means we don't know how many exactly the number of rows. So that generally we are going to consider here as a m rows. Next, how many columns? Let us see here. First column, next second column, next third column, so and so on. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ 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 ಡ್ಯಾಶ್. ಸೊ how many there will be the columns, we don't know. Generally we are going to take as a what, n columns. ಸೊ ಇದು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ರೋಸ್. ಇದು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರೋಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ m by n, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ವಾಟ್, ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. Okay, so let us see here that rows, next n columns, then this product whatever m by n we written, that gives as a what it is, order of a matrix. This product value it will be giving as a how many elements are there in this matrix. ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ. m by n ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Okay, I hope everybody understood clearly about that order of a matrix. Just simple ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೋಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳಿಸೋದನ್ನೇ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ತೋತೀರಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಮ್ ಬೈ ಎನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ನ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದರದ್ದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಟು ದ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ m by n ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಟು ದ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎ. ಓಕೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎ ಮಿನಿಟ್. ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಟು ದ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎ ಈಸ್ okay, that is what m by n is the order of a matrix. So let us see some examples so that you are going to get it clearly. So concern to the order of some matrices. So A matrix, if you consider any numbers you can take up for the point of examples. ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನಾವೇ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತೇನು ರೂಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ 3, 4, 8, 9. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎ? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಏನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ರೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ರೋಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹರಿಜೆಂಟಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಹರಿಜೆಂಟಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ I am going to draw one horizontal line here, next another horizontal line. So total 2 horizontal lines, so that 2 I am going to write. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ದಾಗ ಹಿಂಗೇನು ಹರಿಜೆಂಟಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಎಳೆದ ಜರೂರತೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ 1, 2. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ A is what? 2 by 2. Therefore, so that A is having order what? So that is 2 by 2. Order of a matrix A is what it is? 2 by 2. ಇಂಥವೇ ಸಿ ಇ ಟಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಗಿವನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ಮೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್. So that I am going to consider 1, 8, 3. Next 4, 5, 6. So first you observe how many rows. Before writing that order, you first and foremost you should observe that how many rows. So see here 2 rows. How many columns? 1, 2, 3. So then what is the order of that B matrix? So order of a matrix B. Order of a matrix B is what it is? 2 by 3. Okay. So one more you can consider. I hope everybody understood concern to the first A matrix order, B matrix order also. Let us see one more. Consider C matrix here. I am going to take it as a 2, 3, 8, 4, 7, 9, 1, 2, 4. Okay, see how many rows are there in this matrix. So just ನಿಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹಾರಿಜೆಂಟಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ದಿ ವಾಟ್ rows. So 1, 2, 3. 3 rows by. We are going to call this as a by. Next, how many columns? So see here 1, 2 and then 3. So 3 by 3. Okay, order of this matrix C is 3 by 3. You don't draw the horizontal and vertical lines in your examination, just for understanding point of view. So I drawn and shown horizontal line and vertical lines. Okay, one more you can consider the example so that you are going to get it clearly. Let us have here the example. 3, 4, 8, 5, 6, 7. What is the order of this? So 1, 2. 2 rows are there. Next 1, 2, 3. 3 columns are there. So that its order, what it is? D matrix. Order of a D matrix is what it is? 2 by 3. Concern to the C matrix. Order of a C matrix. Order of a matrix C. Order of a matrix C. That is what? 3 by 3. 3 by 3. Okay, I hope clear to everyone. So last one example you can take this little. I am going to change that here. Let us observe that one. 3, 4, 8, 9, 1, 2. So let us tell me the order of this. So let us observe here. What is the order of this? So see first rows. Compulsory new rows ni observe ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. 3 rows are there. How many columns? First column, second column, 2 columns. So that so order of this matrix E ada. ಇದರ ಹೆಸರು ಏನು? E. Okay, that is order of E. Order of matrix what? E. What that is so that is 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Okay, so don't get confusion and don't do any mistake in your examination. Okay, be careful. Just a simple trick ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾರಿಜೆಂಟಲ್ ರೋಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಅದನ್ನೇನು ರೋಸ್ ಬೈ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರೀತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. Okay, I hope everybody understood this concept clearly. Let us go ahead the next very important aspect, that is what concern to the, so next sheet we shall move, concern to the types of matrices. This is the very most important for the point of examination. So let us have concern to the what types of matrices. Let us have the heading types of matrices. Types of matrices. So you can specify on that 100% fix for 1 mark. We can expect 1 mark from this concept. So let us mention that 100% fix for 1 mark. Any one definition they are going to ask for the 1 mark, or else some examples, any one example also they may ask for the 1 mark. Let us we shall discuss different types of whatever the different types of matrices they are there. So first we shall take into consideration as a, so what it is, square matrix. So simplest way ದೊಳಗೆ first example ಕೊಟ್ಟು next definition ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ. Let us see here. So first we shall observe here example for the square matrix, then we shall come back to the definition. Okay, definition illi I will come back to definition there. So let us observe here one example. Whatever the example, so number I am going to take it randomly here. So that is A matrix 3 4 5 8. So how many rows are there? 1 2 rows. How many columns? 1 2 columns. So very simple here. We are going to observe that this is 2, again this is also be 2. What it means? So this we are going to call as a number of rows m. This we are going to call as a number of columns n. If m is equals to n, if m is equals to n, so that I am going to write it here. ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡೋಣ ಅಂತ, ರಿವರ್ಸ್. m is equals to n ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತದು, number of rows are equals to the number of columns in a matrix, then we are going to call that as a square matrix. ಇಷ್ಟೇ definition. Okay, ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Number of what that number of rows which will be is equals to what number of columns. Number of what columns. Number of rows is equals to number of columns. Then that type of matrix we are going to call as a what it is, square matrix. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋಣ. Let us see one more example here. B matrix I am going to consider as a 1 8 3, next 2 4 3, next 3 1 2. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೋಬೋದಾ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸಿಗೆ? ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡೋ ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ತೊಗೋಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ರೋಸ್? 1 2 3 rows. How many columns? 1 2 3 columns. So order of this matrix, of course, again 3 by 3 it is. So number of rows 3, that is also equals to number of columns 3. So hence it is a what? It is an example for the what it is, square matrix. Okay, let us see here concern to the definition how we are going to quote that definition. Simple by heart ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ so you can write in your own words in your examination. We are going to observe this word, number of rows they are equals to the number of columns, then that matrix is called as what? Square matrix. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವೇದೊಳಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. if in a matrix if in a matrix the number of rows, how we are going to denote, as I mentioned here, m. Number of rows m are equal to what it is, are equal to the number of columns, ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, n. We are going to denote as a small n. Then what you are going to call? Then it is called what that is called a square matrix. Then it is called a square matrix. What that is, you can see that is a number of rows equals to number of columns. Next, m is equals to n. Examples you can see here, that is a 3 4 5 8 we taken. So 2 rows are there, 2 columns, so that is, so 2 equals to 2, of course, that's why it is a square matrix. Okay, next b observe madre, that is also be 1 8 3 2 4 3. Next 3 1 2. Again number of rows 3, number of columns 3 equals to 3, hence it is what a square matrix. Okay, so ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ another one, rectangular matrix. Okay, we shall see concern to the rectangular matrix. Okay, concern to the rectangular matrix. So ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು we shall observe that. ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವೇದೊಳಗೆ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿರ್ತೈತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮಾಡಿಫೈ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಯುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದೇರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೋಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಟೈಟಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ವಿ ಶಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಟೈಟಲ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್. What is that second one? That is second one is a rectangular matrix. ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಉಳಿತದ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಜಮ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್. ಇನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ ಸರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೋಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್. ಎದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಏನೇ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಎ 3 4 5 8. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಏನು ಎಡಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಎಸ್ 7 9. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನಂಬರ್ ತೊಗೋಬೋದಾ, ಎನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೋಸ್ 1 2 3. ಓಕೆ, 3 rows are there. Next, how many columns? 1 2. 2 columns. Okay, whether 3 is equals to 2? Not at all. Okay, 3 is not equals to, so that is not equals to 2, of course. Okay, next here 8 ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ example I am going to change it in this way. Okay, let us see here. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆದರೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ 2 4, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 3 8, 1 8 3, next 2 4 8. How many rows you are observing? So 1 2 2 rows. How many columns? 1 2 3. Okay, so again 2 is not equals to 3. So then how we are going to change it here? M, whether m is equals to n? Not at all. M is not equals to n. Number of rows, they are not equals to number of columns. Number of rows, they are not equals to number of columns. Okay, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ದನಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್ದಿಂದ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೈತದು. ಓಕೆ, so let us see here. If in a matrix the number of rows are equals to ಅಂತೇಳಿತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಂತೇಳಿವಿ not equals to. Just we need to add the word that is what not equals to here. Okay, just ಇಲ್ಲಿ modify ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೇನೆ. Not equals to number of rows m, they are not equal to the number of columns n. Then ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ವಾಟ್ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ number of rows are not equals to number of columns. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು. ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ವೇರ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್. ಓಕೆ, now they are not equal. So m is not equals to. Examples you can see here. That is so one example A 3 4 5 8 7 9. So order of that matrix, that is what 3 by 2. Okay, one more you can see here, 1 8 3 2 4 8. Then order of that it is 2 by 3. So not only this, but also one more you can consider any of the example. C, that is 3 8 9 3 8 9 3 8 9. So how many rows? Only one row. How many columns? 1 2 3. So order of this is 1 by 3. Okay, few more types of matrices, we shall discuss it in next class. So I hope everybody understood clearly. In the same fashion we shall discuss in offline classes. So offline classes they are going to start after your midterm examinations. Okay, midterm exam ಆಗನೇ immediately ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗಳು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರೇಬಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ 20th of December. Okay, 20th of December 2021, or else after the Christmas, that means 26th. Okay, so I will confirm you any one date. Either 20th we are going to start the classes, or else so 26th offline classes, crash course, total 3 months crash course. Okay, 3 months. So crash course we are going to take for all PCMB. Okay, PCMB ಎಲ್ಲ 4 ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೊ ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೈತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ and then enroll your admission. So you can 100% pass in a main examination. There is no doubt at all. Okay, ಇದೇ ಥರನೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಗೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ.